There is an upgraded severe weather threat for today as well as Wednesday's storms, plus some severe weather is expected to continue further east by Thursday. This video has the latest details in the next 10 minutes. Since this video is a breaking update, I want to dive right into the severe thunderstorm outlook first for today, our Tuesday and Tuesday night. If you want to use the timestamps in the description to skip ahead to the Wednesday timeframe or the Thursday timeframe, make sure to do that by clicking down below. Here we are, though, looking at the outlook that has been upgraded for today. The peak is a level 4 of 5, but many zones from the eastern slopes of the Rockies all the way over to the mid-Mississippi Valley are in at least a level 2 of 5 slight risk. The peak part of the risk zone is still down in Kansas, Oklahoma, and western Missouri as it was in my last video. The difference, though, is that we have a level 3, and then within that level 3, we even have a level 4 of 5 that has been issued, as we have a very elevated damaging wind, hail, and even potential for a few tornadoes later today and tonight. Here's a look at the Storm Prediction Center's strong damaging wind outlook for today and tonight, indicating that we have in the red and pink zones as high as a 30 to 45% chance of damaging winds of 60 plus miles per hour within 25 miles of a point. While that is the main reason for the upgrade, another reason that this is just so concerning in general is the fact that we have an area with dashed lines called a hatched risk that has been issued in those same spots. In southern and southeastern Kansas, in northern Oklahoma, and then getting through southwest Missouri, those dashed lines in the red and pink areas indicates that we will have the potential for some of the strongest storms to produce wind gusts exceeding 70 to 75 miles per hour. That is hurricane force wind blowing through with on-land thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center has even mentioned that the ceiling for some of the highest wind gusts will be closer to 100 miles per hour. Nothing to play around with, especially in the red and pink and even some of these surrounding zones. The biggest population centers in the risk area include Dodge City and Wichita in Kansas, even on up as far northeast in Kansas as the Ottawa region and in the southwestern Kansas City, Missouri suburbs. Then as you get down there towards northern Oklahoma, we have Woodward, Enid, Pawnee, Bartlesville, and Tulsa in the pink part of this risk zone. That is a 45% chance of significant damaging winds. Everybody needs to be on alert for not only these winds, but even a hail and tornado potential as well. In addition to jet stream ingredients coming together to really amp up the wind threat, we are also going to have the hail threat get elevated by the amount of daytime heating we're going to get ahead of our storms. This could even result in a few tornadoes where we get some wind shear. Look at all of this daytime heating expected. This is called convective available potential energy, better known as CAPE in the meteorology world. Out ahead of a low-pressure system moving out of the front range of the Rockies, we will have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, even getting closer towards 5,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. Let me just go ahead and tell you, that is a lot of convective available potential energy, and storms will have no problem growing into very mean and gnarly clusters in this kind of environment. With that being said, I want to dive into an overview of how storms should play out through the rest of our Tuesday and Tuesday night using this guidance on screen. If it is correct, around the time that I'm posting this video at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central roughly, there should be some storms in isolated to scattered fashion, some of them already producing severe weather from the front range of the Rockies, stretching all the way down into peak parts of the risk zone in Kansas and Missouri. Things will only continue to increase in terms of intensity, though, as the evening rolls on. Sure, we'll see some storms, and they could be severe here and there with wind and hail as the main threats further north, but here come our real wind, hail, and even tornado type storms that are likely going to get together over Oklahoma, far northern Texas in the Panhandle region, and then into southern Kansas. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, I think that's when things really ramp up. So not long after this video is posted, these storms will already be knocking on your door in Wichita probably. We could even see some severe storms before sundown in Kansas City. That is a little earlier than previously expected. It looks like it's going to be a mess with several clusters of damaging winds that could get together around the sundown time frame and even thereafter. Some of the gusts in whatever strongest clusters get together could be upwards again of 70 to 80 miles per hour, even getting closer towards 90 to 100 miles per hour on the highest end. Some hail could be around 2+ inches in diameter as these storms continue, and even get stronger as we go into the middle of the night. Look at this guidance. It's indicating multiple clusters of storms possibly from southwest Missouri back into south central Kansas and even getting into northern and central Oklahoma by the time we get closer to midnight. Nocturnal storms are even more dangerous, and you do not want to be outside because the wind and hail will pummel you as these storms move in. You do not want to be trying to record this type of activity. You want to be getting to the lowest, most interior room of your home as if these storms are producing tornadoes, which a few of them could, of course, as well. As we go beyond 12, 1, 2 o'clock tonight, storms will likely begin to break up a bit more, but even through central Oklahoma, far northwest Arkansas, central Missouri, that could be your time in the level 2 and level 1 zones there for some brief wind and hail potential. Late night is when things should begin to wind down even more, although a few severe storms could even continue in parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and surrounding zones with any lingering activity. Tuesday and Tuesday night is just our first big day of severe weather, though. By the time we get into our Wednesday and Wednesday night, so June 18th going into early June 19th, we have as high as a level 3 of 5, with a broad level 1 and level 2 surrounding that, from the southern plains getting all the way on up through the Midwest and into the Great Lakes. You can see the slight level 2 of 5 risk zone includes areas from the north side of Dallas all the way up to Detroit, Michigan, and points in between. And the peak part of our risk zone extends from southeastern Missouri through the Paducah, Kentucky region, through south central Illinois, south of Springfield in particular, through Indianapolis, Fort Wayne in Indiana, and then getting all the way down there into the far southern part of the Glove of Michigan. Just like our Tuesday threat, overall wind and hail look to be the primary risks. 60 to 70 miles per hour wind gusts and 1 to 2 inch hail will probably be the dominant hazard that most zones see if you get severe weather. However, tornadoes could be possible, and there is as high as a 5% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a point issued. That includes St. Louis, Missouri, back down to the Farmington, Missouri region, through Springfield in Illinois, Effingham, Illinois, Ottawa, even the Chicago region, all around Lower Lake, Michigan, over to Lansing and Detroit. In the slight risk zones as well, we have at least that 5% chance of tornadoes. So a pretty broad area needs to be watching for the spin-up twisters that we could also see. Even Indianapolis, that could come together for you too. While Tuesday and Tuesday night will be hard to beat in terms of the amount of storm energy that will be available, ahead of the advancing cold front into the risk zone on Wednesday and into Wednesday evening, there will be once again some pretty intense instability in place. From Texas all the way on up to at least Illinois and Indiana, medium to high amounts of storm fuel will be in place by early to mid-afternoon, and that will help any storm clusters that do fire up to produce those gusty winds, hail, and even a couple tornadoes. Let's time it out. Let's go ahead and take a general look at some of the timing for those storms expected into our Wednesday and Wednesday night using that same HRRR model. Keep in mind that down in the southwestern part of the risk zone, we could have some rain and storms, few of which may even be on the strong to severe side already, ongoing around the morning commute, so 7, 8, 9 in the morning. Oklahoma, Arkansas, surrounding zones, maybe even a bit further northeast from there. We could have some strong storms to start the day. I think it won't be too long after that where across the risk zone we begin to get some severe weather ramping up. The threat will only go up in the slight risk zone out of Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas and parts of southern Missouri by about 12, 1, and 2 o'clock. We could already have some severe storms with damaging winds, hail, and a couple tornadoes being possible, moving through Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, trying to get towards western Ohio through the mid-afternoon hours. It's really not going to be for everyone where we get severe storms based on the look of this guidance, but where we do see the storms fire on up, they could easily be producing 60 mile per hour wind gusts in scattered fashion. We'll have that potential for some 1 to 2 inch hail, and again, there could be a couple tornadoes here and there as we continue to watch a smattering of storms across the risk zone, even as we go towards the sundown hour, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening around the Ohio River Valley. It could be when that area really starts seeing an increase in storm coverage as well. Deeper through the evening and into the overnight hours, storms will likely not last as much as they did through Tuesday night back in the Central Plains and this zone of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. That being said, though, we could still see some gusty winds and heavy rain pushing into places like Little Rock, Nashville, up into Louisville, Kentucky, maybe even further north from there if we get an additional cluster up into Indiana and Ohio, for example. That will begin to break up even more by the time the sunrise hour comes around on Thursday morning. The strong front will continue east by Thursday and Thursday night, giving the Appalachians and the eastern seaboard a chance at some severe weather this week. A level 1 to level 2 threat is currently forecasted to be in place by the Storm Prediction Center. The peak part of that risk zone looks to extend from Charlotte and Greensboro, North Carolina, up through pretty much all of central and even a lot of eastern Virginia, including the Richmond area. We've got Washington, D.C., Baltimore, getting up through Philadelphia, the New York City area, even on up towards Albany, New York, and Montpelier, Vermont. Damaging winds and hail do look to be threats to come together in the slight risk zone and even the marginal risk zone surrounding that. With that being said, that is it for today's weather briefing. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below so you catch all my full-length videos as well as breaking updates like this in the future. I deliver my content in a no-hype approach, so I hope you will stick around. God bless you, everyone. Stay safe out there. Let me know if you have any comments and questions down below.
One Nation Weather.